Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are moving higher this morning, with S&P futures up 0.16%, Dow futures up 0.01%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.34%. Futures had remained mostly flat this morning, but started to move higher while the dollar has slipped and Treasury yields have lowered as investors wait for Thursday's U.S. inflation report before gauging the direction of monetary policy. The 10-year rate has slipped 2 basis points to 1.5%. A rally in commodities has limited in progress, with global recovery remaining patchy and with the pandemic still spreading in the developing world. Over in Asia, shares ticked higher in China while factory gate inflation for May was at its highest since 2008, but consumer price gains remained subdued. China is also considering imposing a cap on the price of thermal coal to contain high energy costs. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
All I can say about the S&P futures is they've been a yawn all morning long. They really just haven't moved at all. I'm looking at them right now. They're trading fractionally higher, but really in a tight trading range. I expect them to be in this tight trading range, for most of the day, because the key catalyst, market catalyst, is really tomorrow's CPI reading. Expectations today, really tight trading range. I don't think we're going to move in either direction. However, I do think the tech stocks could show some bullish momentum, which could push the S&Ps a little higher. That momentum is really going to be caused because the Senate passed that $250 billion bill yesterday for technology research and development. However, the Biden ended talks on the infrastructure bills with Republicans, so that's kind of a negative for a lot of the infrastructure companies. I noticed the Senate also passed a bill yesterday that would increase the fees companies that are planning to do mergers have to pay the governments and those government agencies because they need bigger budgets. You look over in Europe, European markets are really trading off. Asian markets, with the exception of China, were down as well. My main focus really today is really on the earnings, what came out this morning and what's coming out this afternoon.
Well, let's go ahead and move into earnings to watch today. Looks like Lovesac did really well. Bill, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, Lovesac, ticker LOVE. They beat by 71 cents, when they reported this morning. That was a big, huge beat. And you look at the stock today, it's actually trading down 2.15%, but that was a 71-cent beat on higher revenue. They said net sales increased 52.5%. It was driven by increases in showroom sales of 170.4%. So that was a big move. It was a big beat for Lovesac. UNFI, this is when I was watching. UNFI delivered a 6-cent beat on higher revenue, and they even came out and they said that they're backing their 2021 revenue estimates of 27 billion to 27.8 billion, where the consensus was 27.21 billion. You look at UNFI this morning, and the stock's actually trading down 9%. Casey's stores, they beat by 24 cents on higher revenue. Campbell Soups, that ticker CPB, Charlie, Paul, Boy, they missed by 9 cents on lower revenue, and doesn't look good for Campbell Soup, that's for sure.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
You got a couple big ones. Ticker RH, formerly known as Restoration Hardware. It's now just RH Companies. They have an EPS of $4.10, and they're expected to move 8.5%. That's a big move for this stock. GameStop, ticker GME, Grace Michael Edward, they're expected to lose 83 cents this quarter, but their expected move is 21.9%. Lakeland Industries, that's ticker LAKE, their EPS is 53 cents, and they're expected to move 11%. Lakeland is delivering midday. That's not in the pre or post market like all the other normal stocks. So you want to keep an eye out for that later this morning. And tomorrow we have Signet Jewelers reporting. That's ticker SIG, Sam India Grace. Their EPS is $1.26, and their estimated move is 10.9%.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing as far as reports go.
Well, at 10 a.m., we have the wholesale inventories. This is the initial figure. At 10:30, you have the EIA oil stockpiles report. Another draw is expected. So, we'll see. That could actually push oil prices a little higher. They broke 70 this morning. The U.S. inflation data is really what's in focus, and it could really influence how soon the Fed pairs its stimulus program. And that CPI number is going to be released tomorrow, and it's really going to be the catalyst for the markets and likely to be a real hot topic for that Federal Reserve meeting next week.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Wallbox Chargers. The electric vehicle charging company, Wallbox Chargers, is set to debut on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol WBX by merging with Kensington Capital Acquisition, that's ticker KCAC. The transaction will value Wallbox at $1.5 billion and is expected to be completed in the third quarter of 2021. Kensington's share price is up 1.96% in pre-market. In other news, Motion Acquisitions, ticker MOTN, their merger partner DocGo will be providing Carnival Cruise Lines, ticker CCL, with COVID-19 testing and vaccinations for crew members as it prepares for the restart of cruising in the U.S., with a plan to test guests as well once cruises resume. Carnival share price is up 0.64% in pre-market. In other news, Summit Healthcare Acquisition is to be listed on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol SMIHU beginning today. The company will have an IPO of 20 million shares starting at $10 per share. News on Merck, ticker MRK. The company has entered into an agreement with the U.S. government to sell 1.7 million courses of its oral RNA treatment used as a vaccine for COVID-19 for the price of $1.2 billion. Merck is also submitting applications for emergency use authorization or approval of its oral treatment to regulatory bodies outside of the U.S. Merck's share price is up 0.69% in pre-market. In other news, China Automotive, ticker CAAS, has purchased 40% interest in Swedish automotive tech company Sentient AB, which specializes in hardware designed for autonomous driving. China Automotive's share price is up 9.65% in pre-market. News on Microsoft, ticker MSFT. The company will begin selling some products through its experience centers in London, NYC, and Sydney starting from July 1st. The news comes after Microsoft announced plans in 2020 to shutter all store locations except its New York City, London, Sydney, and Redmond, Washington locations. Microsoft's share price is up 0.23% in pre-market. News on SPX. SPX is selling its subsidiary SPX Transformer Solutions to a subsidiary joint venture between General Electric, ticker GE, and Xignux for $645 million cash. GE's share price is up 0.07% in pre-market. News on Yandex, ticker YNDX. The company is set to launch a vehicle fleet management platform that can be used by taxi companies, freight operators, and logistics firms. The new service will monitor vehicle location, provide statistics, and forecast fuel consumption. Yandex share price is down 0.31% in pre-market. News on C, ticker SE. The company is preparing to roll out an e-commerce platform in Colombia and Chile and will provide free shipping in both countries. C's share price is up 0.76% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, one on DoorDash, ticker DASH. DoorDash is expanding its business to Japan, beginning in the city Sendai. This marks the company's first market expansion in Asia and its third country outside the U.S. after Australia and Canada. DoorDash's share price is up 1.64% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific segments. I'm looking at specific industries. I'm looking at specific events. It just helps me jump on these stories that I think are going to be moving the market today. I have a FANG alert that I look at every day, and, Apple's all over it today. They're in early stages with talks with China's CATL and BYD about the supply of batteries for its planned electric vehicle. They're also boosting their VCM orders. This is voice coil motor orders for their new iPhones in June. I also noticed that the digital advertisers are really getting concerned with Apple's new privacy features They don't really like it because they're not going to be able to use the same matrix to focus in on the people that they want to target to. On Google, I noticed that there's in a new lawsuit, Ohio is arguing that Google really needs to be treated more as a utility rather than a public company. And news on Amazon, Amazon's fielding bids to replace JP Morgan in its credit card partnership. That's a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made on these credit card partnerships, and JP Morgan might not be giving them the best bid. They may be looking at Barclays or another organization that really does help the retailers profit from credit card programs. My Dow Jones 30 alert, Intel, ticker INTC, India, Nancy, Tom, Charlie. The Senate's passing the $250 billion technology research and development bill. It's going to be good for the semiconductors today. UNH, it's United Healthcare, under Nancy Happy. Board authorized the cash dividend of $1.45. And Merck, ticker MRK. They did announce that nice supply agreement with the U.S. government. I did see this morning that one of the brokers lowered their price target on Merck, which was surprising to me this morning. In Salesforce, that's ticker CRM, Charlie, Richard, Michael. Salesforce sees that 50% of employees are going to continue to working from home even after COVID, according to Salesforce CEO. In terms of events today, we have Caterpillar's annual shareholders meeting that starts at 9 a.m. Shake Shack's annual shareholders meeting starts at 9 as well. American Airlines, this could be an interesting one. They're starting their shareholders meeting at 10 a.m. today, as well as Penn Gaming Systems. Their shareholders meetings is scheduled to start at 10 a.m. as well. Then we have Penn. And then we have Lululemon and Target also having their shareholders meeting at 11 a.m. this morning. And here's an interesting one. GameStop, ticker GME, Grace Michael Edward. Their shareholders meeting is scheduled for today at 11 a.m., yet their earnings announcement is scheduled for this afternoon. So it's going to be a busy day for the employees of GameStop, but you're going to see a lot of activity. And that straddle price is huge for GameStop. In terms of guidance, Campbell Soup, they're expecting their 2021 adjusted earnings EPS to be in the $2.90 to $2.93 range. It's lower than the previous outlook of $3.03 to $3.11. I also noticed that JetBlue now sees their Q2 revenue down 30 to 33% versus the same quarter in 2019. And UPS is targeting their 2023 revenue to be at $98 billion to $102 billion. So those are some interesting stories that I was seeing today, Shane.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking one I spoke about a moment ago. Merck, ticker MRK, is really hot news that it's got this oral COVID-19 vaccination coming out. It's getting picked up already in the U.S. It's got a $1.2 billion sale, big price, and already looking at other countries to pick it up. So there's just a lot of news behind what they're doing, and it's hot news. Everyone's getting vaccinated now, but how much more of an ease is it for people to take an oral? It's always a preference. It's always something that is popular. So this could be something that really moves for them. They're only up 0.69% in pre-market off the news. Not very high, so there's a lot more I think they could run. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Chewy. That's ticker CHWY. Charlie, Henry, William, Yellow. This is an earnings play. The stock is priced to move 9% when the earnings are released. I'm reviewing the brokers' statements, and they've all been raising their price targets or initiating coverage on Chewy. Even Bank of America came out and they said they see plenty of positive signs for long-term growth trends within the company. So yeah, my pick today is Chewy, CHWY, and I think that's going to show some nice momentum today.
Well, moving on to what's hot off the press. This is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak. Moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get into it. Bill, looking at our newswire headlines streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Garmin, ticker GRMN, Grace, Richard, Michael, Nancy. Garmin's introducing a new dash cam series. Campbell's Soup, that's ticker CPB, Charlie, Paul, Boy. They just announced a 250 million share repurchasing program effective immediately. Wow. Broadridge, it's ticker BR, Boy, Richard. They just acquired Advisor Stream. Terms were not disclosed. Ticker XPO Logistics, X-Ray, Paul, Oscar. They've increased their expectations for Q2 2021. Wendy's, ticker WEN. William Edward Nancy, they announced a refinancing transaction.
First Solar, ticker FSLR, is slated to disclose plans on Wednesday to invest $680 million in a new Ohio factory, which would be its third solar panel plant. Stock alert, China Automotive, one we spoke about, ticker CAAS, they're up 9% in pre-market.
Here's one on PSX, Balsam X-ray. Citibank boosts Phillips 66 target price to 126, and they're opening a positive catalyst watch on the stock. Salesforce, that's ticker CRM. Charlie Richard Mary is expanding its financial services offerings for corporate and investment banking.
ExxonMobil, ticker XOM, they had a discovery at their Longtail 3 offshore block in Guyana.
Vera Bradley, that's ticker VRA. Victor Richard Apple. Vera Bradley's first quarter revenue rises 57%.
Tyson Foods, ticker TSN, announced that it's going for net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. Big trend. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here. So that'll do it for what's hot at the press. But traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday. I had Apple, ticker AAPL, which opened at $126.60 and had an immediate spurt up to $128.39 and stayed around the $127 level until 11 a.m., but ultimately closed lower, just 10 cents above the opening price, $126.70. So not a huge move. There was a moment to make a point if you caught it well and traded in the early morning or early to late morning, but I still expect things to move higher for Apple, so one to keep our eyes on still. How did yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I did Dave & Buster's, which is ticker PLAY, play, and it was just a winner all around. Stock opened up at 42.71. It hit a high of 46.78 during the day, and it closed at 46.34. So that was a big winner. It was a big solid mover. And, you know, it's down like 4 cents this morning. So it's really holding those gains, and earnings are out tomorrow. So yesterday was the day, you know, you wanted to get in, and we gave it to you pre-market. So that was a big, great call.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.